Okay. Playing the game. Let me just make sure everything's working. Let's see. Will I capture a game? Please, please, please capture the game. What has happened here now? What did I do? Okay. I have no clue what I'm doing. That's a lot of paper. I'm just, I should probably announce on Discord that I'm live. I think that'd be a great idea. As I am super confused, personally. I'm just not gonna question what's going on at this point. Just gonna grab a link, send it on Discord, and have a happy, lovely time. And just not worrying about it, just not thinking about it. Just gonna be chill, gonna be calm. Take a man's life, and I am a god. It's really weird to say, but you know, that's how it is. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. New content, baby. Stanley and Scott. There. If I'm confused, I'll confuse everybody. Stanley, Scott, and handsome. Yes, yes, that is Stanley. Stanley lives a peaceful life. What is going on?
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Fair and understandable, quite well. Why is there so much paper?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I need to go to the office real quick. Or boss's office, rather. Well, not in there, but I'm gonna
feeling a wave of disbelief,
go right before it. Sorry, broom closet.
Boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes. But in fact, I did not. I came here to press that. And then begin the game again. No more paper, cool.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What are you on about, mate? Why is the narrator saying a lot of stuff now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed.
Wait, where did the PC go?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, I forgot the PC to collect is mine. Oops, the dipsy. Heaven. Buttons. Ah, the blue one. No. Is it only one-time use? I have plans to ruin heaven by pressing every button. There's a one per use. No, they all reactivate again. Yeah, they do. Maybe that. So many buttons. Okay, you know what? I've fulfilled life. I'm going to the new pump.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Can't I just... What happens if I keep restarting them? Because he keeps saying more and more stuff.
All of his co-workers were gone. What did it mean?
He reset.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
He reset. New content.
New content? What does that mean?
New content. New content. New content. New content. New content. New content. New. Oh, I fell through. I saw that. Wait. Oh wait, is this the right way? Wait.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable.
Yeah, this is the right way.
Deluxe. As you may know,
Yeah,
the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I'm a bit ashamed that they didn't keep a joke here about like, if you didn't know about it, you're just too young.
Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
It's like FNAF VR.
Step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Can we ever go out here? What happens if I just stay? Nothing. Okay. Okay, buddy.
Okay, so far it's an elevator.
I need Mario to come here.
Yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere?
I have put the gun on him, so he better be
good. At long last, it's on to the new
That's how it
content.
is. You point the gun at him and they join.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Nice light bulb.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if
Fair.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh! Oh.
All right.
I'm just not gonna jump in the circle.
The jump circle?
You can't jump outside of it.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I'm not gonna jump at all.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Correct.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait.
Technically, yeah.
More.
That would work.
Yes.
Good, Mario. Good. You better be here.
See it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
You're gonna have a grand time. There's new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with
This
no
is the new
respect for their
content.
fan
That's
base
it.
rush a cheap expansion to
That's
market
it,
for
Mario.
no reason other than to make an easy
Hope you
dollar.
enjoy the
And
new
don't get me
content.
started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In
This
fact,
is the new
right now
content.
the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please."
I am 100%
What
Stanley,
quality
yes.
assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated, and I'm
It's not
offended.
like it got
I
the
intend to
ending
find these
of
people on
"You're
Twitter
not
and hold them
Stanley."
personally accountable.
Yeah, I kind of got that
Typical
achievement
Stanley.
and,
I built up
or
too
ending.
much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
I like this.
If you're still with me,
This is actually
reset
fun.
the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Yay!
What do you say, friend?
Technically, I made the last one, which I'm actually surprised and happy for. My office. Can I go to the office, please, instead? Of wherever this is? Like, what if I try to go back in? I heard something.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
But...
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
is that the good way or is that the good way? Which way do I go? I've been nice or do I... Oh, I don't know if this will have an impact. Do people Which way do people normally go? Do they normally go through the vent or do they go through this place? Because I want to do the opposite. I want to bring the new content to the new content. I'm... fine, go to the vent. Oh... I wonder what would happen if you just went for it's normal. Would it just be a normal playthrough instead?
Okay. You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Is this Elden Ring? Oh boy, let's fight.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life.
What's this a favorite memory?
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
Oh, yeah,
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
What is this? Alright, all good, Mario. You should watch the VOD later, as there is a special part in this game, or it's in this one, which I think you'll find interesting. Buy on Steam, or download the demo. The Stanley Parable is an experience. Mozilla Firefox. Really, devs? Mozilla Firefox? Ugh. Can't believe they actually did it. They use Mozilla Firefox. That's even worse than using Google Chrome nowadays. Yeah, I'm dissing on Google Chrome because it takes up a lot of RAM. I'm sorry. Do you want me to spend like 4 terabytes of memory on it? No. Yes, that is a joke. There has to be a way to get it. There has to be a way. Phone, 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 phone. Where's the phone at? Okay, I gotta remember that phone. Don't play for 5 years. That's an achievement? Wow. Intriguing. To say the least. Anyhow, funny enough, it's weird to say, but Microsoft Edge, the new one, not the old one really sucked, but like the new one with integrated like Google Chrome-ish, it actually runs even faster than Google Chrome as well, and takes up less RAM, so that's my favorite at the moment. Though yes, it would change a lot. Opera GX is also a pretty lovely one. In loving memory, this is Stanley. Instead like a rat or something that died. It's really sad. That's sad. A piano. Well, Interaction Award, Big Sushi FM Best of Packs 2014. Oh, it won them. Got honorable mentions and all that. Nobel Award, honorable mention, Design Museum, Design of the Year.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
That's actually funny because they mentioned how there were a lot of games during that time. We only got like millions more, so don't worry about it, pals. The line! I found the line again! Guys! Why is it mine? Oh, that's like Minecraft back in the time. I remember the old like texture there, especially with the door. Man, those were good times, yeah. Let's begin again. I wonder, if you explore more, would there be like more pictures here? The portal is here as well. Because these are all places that I've actually been to, right? So I wonder, like, would it have more of them, depending on, like, if I got different endings as well, or, like, more endings? The original remake. Look, this is not a remake, because that is the original remake. Now, this is Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe 2. Memories of Maintenance. Knowing your city. Wish I could zoom in, but I can't, so you guys have to do with that. Try to improve on it yourself. Me. Puppy Playtime 2 Chapter 2. Puppy Playtime Chapter 2 is now official at least. Person of the Year. I probably won't be streaming it at all. There's gonna be like a launch quest in the Angels. Meh. Memory, the end is never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end. And your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Wow, literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and
With
one
objects,
that offers
great
some of the
levels,
most
graphics,
enjoyable,
upgrade.
surprising and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was
Is there a way to go up and
it
press the
didn't
button
need
there?
anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh my god. The serious room. Hello? What is the serious room? I'm kind of intrigued.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
No, we don't need to know. There must be some way to like get in there, right? Like eventually? Man, I remember those old computers. Those were wild. Super annoying too. If we're gonna be honest. Let's see. Copy machine. Soda drinks.
Oh no. Oh God, no.
Dang it.
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine
They
what's
could be
been
good.
collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
It's not always.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny.
It's not very
with his
funny, not
humor and
offering much to
dialogue
do
proving
throughout
to be
each
more
path, and
irritating
requiring
than
some rather
entertaining.
tedious nonsense to get certain endings. I can only recommend this game to anyone,
Trying to be
even
funny,
as it's so bad.
trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is
Here's a
already
good
such
review,
dense
look.
weird web of
Good.
profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Good review. And if it's a good review, it means there's something. Right? It's a Steam review. Was good. I bet all the good ones are inside of those. Right? Yeah. For sure, for sure. Guess I'll have to go down here. It's a bucket. Get right here, look.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
It's very repetitive and boring fast despite all the alternate endings and the game cameo appearances. This game is thought-provoking, but you will get the idea. It tries to communicate but fast, and then it is just repeating the whole no choice in games thing over and over again for somebody who prefers non-linear games. Its patchiness gets annoying fast as it is neither a revelation or very interesting. It's thought-provoking only in the first minutes. New Del Shaft, I am very sorry, but technically every ending was unique in their own way, so it's not quite linear or leading to your choices doesn't matter. The thing about it though, with starting over, is also quite unique, as it lets the player actually always repeat a story if they want to, or always continue. So your 3.1 hours on record can take that, throw it out the window, and pretty much yourself with it. Hope you had a lovely time and reading my review as well. Thank you very much. That is my personal review on the person. So yeah. Oh, dude. No, did I get stuck? So yeah. Okay, thank God. I didn't crouch there. I was kind of close. If I'm gonna be honest, I should probably stop trying to go into corners that may or may not get me trapped. Here's foundation for a new game, I think. Or a new room. Feels like a new room more. Coffee. Oh, okay. Okay, buddy. I didn't want the coffee. I didn't. Oh. Another review. Okay.
What's this one got to say?
Supposed to be a parable of something, but listening to the patronizing voice droning on and on just isn't fun. The concept to stop doing anything so the narrative can catch up with its long-winded explanation of what's happening and what's skip on. This just contradicts the entire the other one.
I'm truly too preachy then.
I mean, your recommendation makes more sense as you have 9.8 hours. You clearly have played it. Clearly didn't go AFK or anything.
Positive reviews
Yeah.
Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do
That's
anything
it?
for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
What happens if I walk into the water? Oh, I can't. Okay, buddy.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that
Nah.
the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no.
I want to hear it all.
Is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought?
Yes or no?
Do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Yeah.
That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Yeah, that's
But
completely
wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone?
Manifesto does sound grander.
It is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto.
That's fair.
We're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor.
Yes.
It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
Okay, how many times though?
Here we go.
Okay.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
I want to hear it all.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Well, between manifesto and preacher,
The
yeah.
minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about
Cookie
this.
9's gonna be proud.
Edit the rating of their Steam review, or at
Probably.
least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip.
Dude, you have time.
I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look,
yeah, but of course.
I'd even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial.
Yeah,
Something along
I'm
the
just gonna
lines of,
let you talk.
This game is the best game.
Yeah,
Let me start over.
for sure.
How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable
That's great.
Ultra Deluxe?
Just gonna go get
Revolutionary
something to
step
eat real
forward in
quick.
the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties
Oops.
of all time.
That was the
additions
cookies.
and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow, Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review
now,
I've
so I
always
guess I'll
dreamed
wait.
of receiving. Well, I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful.
No, you don't.
I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
How long?
The last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
30, 45?
Unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
I am
I do
certain.
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go?
Yeah, I swear.
Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here.
Maybe I have to do
need
here.
a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way.
It did not work.
You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please.
Okay.
Do not press the skip button. Just
I won't.
wait here for me.
Oh, wait.
And don't press the skip button.
Right.
Got it? Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I'll be right back.
So I hope everybody's well. We're waiting for the narrator to come back. Hopefully he'll get us a door, and we'll be on our way. Away from the skip button. It's a bit buggy, I'll admit. The fact that it pauses more time does seem like a huge flaw that you shouldn't be actually implementing into the game just yet. Though I guess they just need a bit of time, and well, yeah, you know. I mean, we can go and check the time in the meantime. The time passes. Let's give him to 12. If he isn't here by 12, by the time the small one hits 12, well, press the button. The second thing. Second line thing? I don't know what it's called in English. Okay. We're pressing the button.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Completely.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea.
Well, what are we meant to do?
Sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
Restart the game.
Anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those
Yeah.
reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine.
True.
I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone.
But what if I don't?
Power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here.
But why?
Surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here.
Two of the lamps are broken now.
You too will. You'll be leaving me. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't.
It's not a loop.
All the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did
Not a
Cookie
loop.
Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone...
I mean,
to
one
talk
night
to
still
again.
works.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking,
Yeah?
you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
How have you
Maybe
known,
I'm just a
though?
fiction.
But how do you know if I could ever hear you from
Perhaps.
the first place?
Perhaps I've been scared for a long time that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I
No.
can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between
Don't
you and
lose
me.
yourself.
When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness.
I'm
Come,
sorry.
let us sit in silence together here for just a moment.
All right.
Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Come here, darkness. Come here, silence. The clock is making noise. Okay, this is locked. Oh, I hit the button.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
There's just so much more light now, though.
After a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
The clock stopped. Good.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed.
Which
I felt
Stanley did,
by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind.
What would that be?
This sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of...
Okay. That's just rude of you, mate. It's dead. Where's the fire? Clock fell. There's no fire. Is it a security alarm? It's still frozen time, like it did earlier.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit.
It's sad, yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions...
You sound kind of mad.
I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity. And
that's what they all say.
To tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment.
That's what they all say and use as an excuse that, no, you're just jealous.
These words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized, at last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down.
Or if you right-click while holding...
Clearly why they felt the need to expect that...
If you right-click and hold left-click, you just walk, so you don't technically need a keyboard. That's interesting. That's super interesting. What?
They didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the...
I'm only using my mouse at the moment.
Jokes they bemoaned, they screamed, they
only my mouse.
Teeth and said, entertain
what the
us.
flip?
It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all
That's super
their
cool.
pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with
this feels super smooth. I hate it.
That they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever.
I've already talked. You done? Is it gonna murder? I guess.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Hello, Hamish. Hope you're well. Your wall is just broken down. I'm using one hand to control my character. I found a nice feature they had in this game. Yo, nice. Wonderful forest. Wait, was it the plant that grew? I think the plant grew. Oh, wow. That's super cool. Plant is dead. Well, there's nothing here, so... Just gotta wait for it to light up once more. And then I assume it's okay to press it again. I guess, because I had to wait earlier. Nope, okay. Well, that's how we go. It should be this way, right? Because we came from... Wait. What position was the button in? I actually need to check. It's super important if I'm gonna find my way back. Okay, then it's that way. My bad, my bad, my bad. So it's in this direction here. Okay. It should be the way back. I went from that place to heaven. I wonder if that would ruin it. I don't know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Ooh.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I'm kind of glad that people without a keyboard can technically play this. That's actually super cool, though. The end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end. No, we're not going there. Cool.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable.
You have?
About how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be.
I get that, yeah.
The Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Yeah,
so forget
sure.
this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new
looks good so far.
With a fully fledged sequel, an entirely
oh crap! It's a MacBook
built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah. Monster Showcase.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2 Now
The
that's an artistic
Mba
statement
du
right there.
door
It's future-oriented.
sway du
It screams
two.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Where's two? Where's the Norwegian one, mate? Come on. That's just disrespectful. You should have at least gone with a Norwegian one. Come on, mate. Ugh. Yeah, Dabs, I blame you. You should have had two, which is two in Norwegian, but you did not. Therefore, bad. Bad game. 100% bad. Photos of painting K. It seems like Windows 10. Or Windows 11. I think maybe Windows 11. The top looks like Windows 11. I guess it's Windows 11. Like, could I? No, I can't do that. Shame. I was wondering if I could open up all photos. That is actually a different photo. I heard a door lock. They're open. What if I just go back inside? Okay, there was a door that opened them, but where? Was it this one? Could color red, cool. There are MacBooks. Or bird books, my bad. As you can clearly see about a bird. Bird Book 4. New content part 2 is an old plus busted new hotness. Boring sections of the shard. 104. No, that's a bit last time 104. Oh wait, no. Cool red section of the shard. Okay, that's really, really cool. Wait, so that room there was technically the sick. Oh, what? I got it. Yeah, shit. They're back 2 doors. Woo! Just what I needed. Well, where are the 2 doors? Oh, change it. Oh, okay, you can't. Cool. That fern is important. Like, I just want to explore.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
The bird book is cool.
That if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Fair, but I don't think it's that kind of magic. Will it close the door? No, huh? This way to the show for valid investors. So I'm an investor. Cool. We talked about new features. I look forward. I have high expectations now, narrator, so you better not disappoint. Ooh, stool. That's actually really cool new content. The stool.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Oh, that's the merch. I don't remember read the sign. The screenshots. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Yeah, the testing thing was weird. Swing shaders. Yeah, the shaders are important. Ray traced. The new updated ray traced. More of the same, but in a good way. Equal to that. Yeah, give me the ray tracing. Yo. The baby is all grown up. The baby's grown up. We can murder him again. I'm proud. Is that pizza there? The whole new office. That's super cool. Enjoy the new features. Thank you. Hear your name in the game. Seems interesting. Let's try.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and
I agree.
as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Okay.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay, what's Jim?
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim?
I am Jim. I'm an investor now, and I've come here to invest in this game. And clearly, this does not seem like a very promising game. At least by far from what I've seen on my way here. So I'm Jim. I'm definitely Jim. I 28 years old, Jim. I've invested in this place, and it seems like it's going awful. It doesn't really seem like a good investment. But now, I came to this button, a button that says the name of the player, so it better say Jim.
Jim.
Oh!
Yes, you see.
It's
What
a
thrill,
Jim.
What a rush. That was you.
It said my name.
The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Oh.
Yes,
Hits
yes,
even
more.
harder the second time.
More.
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's Jim.
Personal Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I am Jim. I want to be Jim. Swear to God, I'm Jim. There's a button downstairs. That's the best feature so far from the game. Hence why I want to know if it's down here. I am Jim. You cannot let me. I swear I'm Jim. I'm Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Yeah. Because I'm Jim. Reassurance bucket. I don't think it's time just yet, okay?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
The blue one looks good, but...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize
oh, okay, buddy.
that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
I don't like this guy, really.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yeah.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Free achievement? Oh.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Do you? One jump. That's all it is, really. Settings, world champion. Where? Settings are over here. Wait, no, that's not right. Not right. Okay, I'm guessing it's just that. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. I gotta go there eventually. To be honest. Office decorations. Wasn't that number 3? So. If that's number 3. Is that done? I suppose. Huh. Okay, what else do we got? We got Epilogue, which we went through. Collectibles, Infinite Hole. That's it. It's about something, at least. Oh.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yeah, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
If I yank it enough, surely I'll get it. I hate this. I hate this. I want it now. Okay, that's just unfair, dude. Naruto kind of sucks. Why wouldn't you just give it to me here and now? I don't know why there's a way there either. Half. But I'm so far giving this game a 1 out of 10.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles.
Ah, Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Everybody wants to shoot input or the figurine, but it's mine. My collectible, not yours. I can't find them.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
You know, really, yeah. It's like, I feel like whenever they give you stuff, it kind of removes the entire, hey, this game actually gives you all ending if you just wanna. No, it really doesn't. Infinite. It won't end. Well, it better not end. That's much for sure. Hole, depth, space, more hole, push mark, science, infinity, more falling, educational user. Infinity. You know, that sounds pretty neat. It just keeps going. Okay. I can't wait.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
But why?
I do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
How far down is it?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
What do you mean?
It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
maybe I do like holes, but doesn't mean I don't get disappointed. Crossmit, infinite hole. Didn't give it.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see?
A little more.
The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
There's nothing such as too much.
Hole right there goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no. You have a weird sort of...
What?
Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes.
Bye.
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Better not get too short.
There it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button.
Meeting at 2 p.m. Stuff, sincerely management. From management to everyone. From management to everyone. From management to everyone. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. I said just the two of us. Music. That's actually interesting. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. I wouldn't go that far. Technically, the spacing is different. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Is the teleport button not working?
It's
sure?
not.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
Like what? Just stand still?
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Thank you. Orange and black. It says shares. Why would there be shares there? No, I do like this. Oh. Is it going down? Oh my god, the hole is going down again. The hole knows I am the one. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. It's two of us. Just the two of us. Building castle in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. This thing is quite full of stuff. Oh my god. I can't move anymore though. Oh my god. This is actually jam.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake.
Hmm.
It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. I don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
There are cigarettes here. Oh! But the hole. I can't go to the infinite hole now?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket is important.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Okay.
That it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration,
There's
I've
no
engineered a clever
reassurance
solution
bucket.
to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring
I want the
cognitive
bucket.
dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Just pick it up. Yeah.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award.
I wanna go to the hole. Mostly infinite hole. It's not the infinite hole anymore. I can't believe it. One more time. With the bucket this time. Am I not allowed? Bruh. Well, he even changed the name though to mostly infinite hole, not an infinite hole anymore. Mostly infinite hole. Fine, it ended. They have admitted. I knew it. It was all a sham. It was all a scam. E. Where's E? I see F. F is there. Where's E? It's here. But I also nonetheless want to see upstairs, so... I don't know, I'm first going upstairs. Settings World Champion. Hello? Is it not finished yet, maybe? That's new. This is new? You heard Jim in the game. Is the Jim button back? I'm just so cute. I hate this. I've spent like 50 minutes just searching around because I'm curious if things reappear or not, or what changes. I'm just curiosity killed the cat. I'll be next. I can promise that, I guess. Oof. Well, I did get scammed. Ashamed that the infinite hole isn't infinite. It was mostly infinite, but not infinite. How do you even get close to infinite? Is that... would that even
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
What is that? Is that a bag? Can I have the bag as well? No. What is this? No screenshots?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
There's a button.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
Okay. Gotta jump,
let me do a different arrangement.
There and bucket.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
This is worse. Why is there a button on the side?
Stanley. This isn't a coherent
Why is there epilogue there?
It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy.
There's 2 holes.
But they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they wouldn't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Okay.
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Just don't take my bucket.
Possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Doesn't seem like it to me, pal. Was developed by Crows, written by David Braddon, and narrated by Kevin Brighting. Give full credit. Ooh. Content warnings and an option to skip sections of the game that deal with suicide, trauma, and mental health issues. Oh, wow. Well, no. I feel that's important. Additional text next to gameplay critical colors. Sure. Sure. It's fine to make it rather large, I suppose. Where's the ray tracing on this promise? It said ray tracing. Narrator? I have complaints.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I heard you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Right about the door.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No.
I got it, I'm sorry.
I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to do it 20 times.
You blocked it all.
Effort that warrants recognition.
Well, there's a lot of stepnieces that have their 12th birthday.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
The bucket is neat. I guess I need to bring. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it to the broom closet, you know. Because I'm kind.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
You deserve it.
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait.
Yeah.
Now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
I can't.
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
We have shared our time walking
Share
for
your journal
this
entries
place.
detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings.
We walked to the broom closet together.
Over the years.
I'm filling up my
Let 'em
drink.
have it.
I brought the bucket to this specific closet. That's our experience. And
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once
Oh,
and
what?
for all. Here we go. There.
see,
Now it's settled. No more
it's
debate.
mine.
No more discussion.
It's
Take
mine.
a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes
Mhm.
about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I think they still want the bucket.
I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're
But now the
holding is a
broom
bucket or
closet
not,
is
you can look down at this
just
sticker
gonna be
and say to
complaining
yourself,
about the
"Oh,
property of
it's a
Stanley
bucket."
bucket.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
I do like this place. It's comfortable.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display.
Yeah.
You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll
I
see
agree.
you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yeah, you tell him. This broom closet wants the bucket. I'm sorry. Why do you want the bucket so much? Okay, you know, I'm...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah. We're gonna beat the game.
You found one of them.
Ooh.
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
We closed off the elevator room. That's sad.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
I forgot the code.
Inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Dang it. It has to be this.
2845.
Right. 5, 4, 8, 2. I swear to God I got it right. I know that.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Nice! I figured it out.
Another miniature Stanley
Yes.
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands. That actually sounds good.
What about Stanlerines?
No,
Yes,
mini stands.
I think I like that.
No.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Mini stands sounds better. Where do I go? Over there. Let's go.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
What?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Number 3. 3. I wanna try 3. I wanna try 3. It must be 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Do you like the number 3? Oh. Proton. No, that's just how it goes.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Yeah, maybe. Another time.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Yeah, number 3. We're gonna experience number 3 together, bucket.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you.
I will.
He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing.
Every corner.
The bucket
that's
conveyed
enough.
absolutely nothing at all.
We go slightly on the inside.
Then silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Then. Can't mess this up. There we go. You see? I can't believe the bucket doesn't agree with me though. Number 3
Stanley
is
and
such
the
a
bucket
special
were so
button.
close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
If I keep on going, the bucket should understand eventually, right? Eventually, you have to. You gotta listen to my bucket.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Bucket, are you ready? I'll show you. Great stuff with number 3. 3, okay?
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One
Stanley reveals all in his new book.
With a loved one.
I have to show you the button 3. 3 again, 3 again. The Stanley story. Number 3 is important, Bucket. You gotta understand why it's so amazing. It's just as amazing as number 5. Yeah, you understand? Dude who came up with pizza. Oh, also it's this. I know it's. Listen, the number 3 is also as important as the dude who invented pizza because, dear God, I love it. Right? So you gotta understand, mate. It's time.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deep understanding.
Number 3 is amazing.
The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent.
And
so it began that slowly, over many years,
love number 3.
The two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends.
It's number 3, Bucket.
Having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
And I thought that number 3 might fix it all, but I guess not. Does it even understand number 3?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting today in the meeting room.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Still, it's the property of Stanley with the bucket mark. You know? We've been through a lot together, Bucket. Yes, Mario? Wait, this has changed, right? The whole corridor wasn't as long before.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Hello, Mario. Me and the bucket are friends. I love it. There's nothing to say about it. How can we find them? To appear across the office, we have to synergize our research to insert a retrieval. There are many questions, so with no memo for management. How can I tell if spotted one makes them float in the air? We took these pictures of them. That was me. That was me. 416, we can do it. Red room? Red room. Okay, red room. Thank you, good luck. Okay, we can, okay. So, red room. Maybe we are the celebrities. Shut the frick up. Oh, okay, buddy. Trust the completionist instinct. I knew it was important. We need to complete the things. Start of a sequel, exhibit, a large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs. So we're both red and blue. I know. I know the red and blue. I know the red and blue. Stairs, there's stairs over here, so I guess so. A large room, lots of boxes. I don't know. It is not Stanley's birthday. There will be a reward for finding more we know.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because
Listen.
I have no remaining stickers. If I did,
It
I can
wants
guarantee
the
we'd be in here
bucket.
for hours. But alas, no stickers.
He wants the bucket. Give me stickers. I want more. Oh yeah, Mario, I realized something. Look. No keyboard. No keyboard. You can play the game by just using your cursor. If you hold right click and then hold down left click, you just walk automatically. And if you let go of left click and right click, you can press for left click. So it always works. Yo, camera. All good, all good. Make sure to let the camera know that it's all good, Mario. I'm gonna come here eventually after.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines.
No, that's worse.
What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay, I can show you. No hands. Of course, I can't turn around now. So just let me turn around. Okay. So you see? Cool, right? I don't think I'm meant to be there. So I got the figurine. Let Cameron know that it's all good, that I can't hear. And wish him good luck at work. Alright? That's all I have to request. And I appreciate him being here in the first place, because I truly do. I can't go here earlier. The elevator. There has to be some significance. The last time it was just an endless thing, but this time for sure, for sure. For sure this time, for sure. Yeah, congrats, Cameron. Make sure to congratulate him from me. Please, please, please. I guess it's time. Let's confront the boss, shall we?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
Was
to
it?
discover not an indication of any human life.
2,
Crushed by the weight of this
7, 4,
revelation,
8.
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his
2,
darkest of
5,
hours, did the bucket's warmth and
8,
guiding
7.
light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
I forgot the code already.
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding?
Maybe.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah. So I got another ending earlier where if you just go down and you go back up, you just can't press the free. It's actually not a horror game, Mario. Which is funny.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Which ending? This is all different because of the bucket. Every ending will be different because of the bucket. So, let's start with this.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket, we're gonna beat this. We're gonna win.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
I can't believe it.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Could I get on top of here?
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below.
Yes.
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Oh, that's good.
Now, what to do next, Stanley? Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was.
I like this show.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was
still got lights.
Regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Maybe, yeah.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Did it lead to an ending? It was an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We got the ending.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
And just know. We're going to the closet. We need the stickers. He surely has enough sticker now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We only need 2 more. There must be a point to this. Nearby a fireplace. Did I get that? Oh yeah, I did. True. A large room, lots of boxes. Some are both red and blue. Some are both red and blue, I know. But I'm confused about the big room with lots of boxes.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did,
I've not heard of Flat Stanley.
We'd be here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Why no stickers, huh?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Fine. What was the code? 2748?
Manager's office,
2748,
Stanley was
maybe?
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
2758.
Presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the
2874?
confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
I just remember 27.
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
84?
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the
27, I'm aware.
was
Right?
2845.
Where did I get 7 from?
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
Jeez.
luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
What about Stanley? What about Stanley's steamer? No. Not really heard of any Stanleys at all.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door
this
that
time,
led
we're
behind
going.
the control facility.
We're going over there somewhere.
The lights rose on an
We're gonna
enormous
go
packed
finish the entire
television
thing, okay?
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered.
Let's just do what the narrator wants us to do for now, I suppose. After that, I'm gonna search for the figurines because I have an idea. Stanley tools, no.
And Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Every
No, really, we have
surface was
Bosch
being
stuff here.
videotaped,
A lot of
monitored
Bosch.
like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into
Red
tears
text, so.
as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Surely via the cams they can find out which of these rooms. They're red and blue, but big room with lots of boxes. That's a good question.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the
That's
first
a really good question.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
Where's a
else's
big
control?
room with lots of
Never!
boxes?
He squeezed the bucket.
And why is the description
His
so
one friend in
specific?
the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Just a bucket. Just a bucket. Believe in the bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy,
Yeah.
or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
No, we do not. It'll be fine. The world will be fine.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Can't believe. Is it over?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Yes.
Freedom was now mere moments away.
Buckets,
Excitedly,
we're
the two
saved.
of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live.
Yeah,
once they
Bucket,
stepped through this
what
massive
life
door.
should we live?
The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in
Yeah.
every country on Earth. Both of them wanted
Let's
to begin
go.
watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Oh, that sounds like
True,
genius
it was a
plan.
simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd live together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait.
Well, I just know that it means like
Was Stanley and the bucket
we
not
need
about to be
nuts.
freed?
I don't remember specifically what
And then
Ike
silence
was. It's like a type of tree.
lingering in uncertainty.
If that makes sense.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face.
But
This
basically,
building
we
did
need
not
nuts.
want the bucket to leave. Even the facility
Jesus.
itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, will go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
Yeah, but it's also technically translated as nuts.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
As an example, if I say nut, that's nut. If I say nutty, that's nuts.
But at least,
But basically, acorns is specifically for trees.
Isn't really so bad.
So
Stanley thought to himself,
technically,
"As long
it
as I
has
have my
both
bucket
translations,
right,
which makes it
I'll be okay with
confusing.
that." Stanley gulped.
It's like
Very soon now,
a very English and Norwegian thing where some stuff just mix up and it doesn't make sense. Did I get the bucket in me? Bucket
all
stuck.
his co-workers were gone.
I see.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply warmth.
What happens if I
spread through
press?
Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
No,
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
no.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
It's so much further away.
That's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I think you can be my translator in Google
Stanley
Facts.
touched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do we want to find out what happens if we press turn on the mind control thing to see if we get the bucket? I think we do. The bucket deserves it. After that, I'm going the other way because I'm gonna find the rest of figurines, and I'm guessing they're on the right instead of left.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Right. Nice shares, mate. Nice shares. What was the code again?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now,
what was it again?
The darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would.
857.
The two of them were inseparable.
2587.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with
2578.
the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of
2758.
did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
2845. Jesus, it's always the 7.
But Stanley guessed
it's always the 7.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It's always the 7 that trips me off, because I keep thinking 7's in it, but it's never in it. I'm confusing myself. Also, I'm going live later as well today to explain some decisions in Federation BG3. There are some specific levels I want to show you guys and how I made it possible. Specifically, Naked Lakitu Express and Yeet the Naked Lakitu. It's really difficult. Yes, Mario? Just also to escape. Sure. Yes, Mario, what's up? What? 1 and 7. Do I confuse those?
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Are those the ones I confuse it with?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
It's the only
reassuring
time
that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Who knows?
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket.
I wish I could tell you something.
His own life in someone else's control? Never!
With Smack.
Tighter.
It's so good. I can wait, dude.
At this point, he could trust no
yeah, now I got a lot of patience.
For the bucket.
It's so good. Don't you worry about a thing.
But here was the proof.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Controls labeled with emotions.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Which of the birds I press?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Good.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they
Good.
spent the rest of their lives here
That's
in this
good.
place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
It really is so far.
Stanley was happy.
That was the best ending. That was the best ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
The employee lounge was the best lounge.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, he thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
The bucket is amazing, yo. I love the bucket. The bucket is great. It knows exactly what I want.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right.
Yeah.
Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
It was such an amazing journey, dude. This is something I really gotta think about,
Perhaps
you know?
this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
This is a lovely bucket. Do you like the couch? It's better than our old, right?
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
Yeah, I'm respectful. You know what? Hold on. I'm actually gonna move the camera so you guys can see the text. Because I feel like, yeah, you guys may want that.
Employee lounge shared a special connection.
It's an amazing place. I'm on top of the plant. It's my plant. Any more dialogue? I should be having Parsec, yes. Oh, wait, now I'm in the way of... content. Oh, no. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. It's not fully centered now. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Now we just put it over here so text can go over there. Ah. Yeah, it is the sequel. I told you I might. Okay, let's head off now, Bucket.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Let's explore this route after. For now.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section.
Let's go to the red and blue door. Alright? That is the meeting room, right? I think the red and blue door was down here. Let's go, Bucket.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's
Eh?
this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
Oh, no.
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet, because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes.
Well, the Broom Closet, yes.
That they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, I'm in the game. On the bucket now. We care about you, Stanley. I don't think you get stew. Can I make the baby go into the fire again? Like I did earlier, because that was kind of funny. You know?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh, that song again. Hold on, let me turn up the music settings. I'm the big baby. I thought it was the bucket. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed beyond belief. I've made a thing in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Oh no.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
No.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then.
Okay,
do
I'm
it for the
leaving.
fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Not the bucket, right? Better not be demanded to give up my bucket. Or else, I swear, I'm gonna be sad. Right? Don't make me give up on the bucket, please. No.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud
No.
to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable.
No.
True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along.
Never.
Don't you agree?
Never. No. No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. No.
Now
No.
listen to me.
No.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
No.
I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you
No,
saying,
it's not getting
how
it.
does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
No.
What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder
This
what sort
bucket
of
is mine.
Bucket Destroyer merchandise the
It says
fans will be
property
clamoring for after
of
this.
Stanley,
Okay,
right?
the Bucket
That's
Destroyer
mine.
is getting
Mine.
very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We
It is
can't
my
get back to the
property,
classic
and I
Stanley
don't care.
Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
My bucket.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were...
F in the chat to pay respect. F in the chat, please. But that still doesn't matter, because that was my property. I ain't giving away my property. That's my property. Okay? A lot of paper.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I will press all doors. There has to be something. I don't know. Okay, Balloon, I didn't know you were working. I'm sorry.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Do I need to destroy it this time?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I think I have
Stanley
to.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
You know, do I get rid of the bucket this time? I want to see what happens if I do this.
So the two of them detoured through the
Sorry,
maintenance
bucket.
section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
But the bucket destroyer, it has a cool name. Yeah, it's a cool name.
Oh, good
Bucket
Stanley. I'm
Destroyer.
glad you found your way here. I
Can
knew
you blame
you'd
me?
find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying
Wait,
around.
big room with lots of
The bucket
boxes?
isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel
Lots of
content.
boxes?
We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
Big
Classic
room?
characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Okay, this time. Let's get rid of the bucket.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back
It
then.
wasn't classic,
Let's do it
okay?
for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
What happens if I
That's
do
why
correct?
I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy
throw it away?
Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry.
Get rid of it.
We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and
It won't let me actually throw it. That's interesting. Well, it's time to watch it again. Hold on, it's coming. It's going to come over here.
My prized creation. You had so much potential.
F in the chat.
Marvelous things with you. Tell
F in the chat.
Spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
You were magnificent. God bless. Okay, so I'm guessing that if I bring the bucket there, I can't go to the red or blue room. Meaning, I'll have to skip the bucket. Meaning, it'll give me the two figurines.
Wait, no, this isn't the right office, is it? Is this
Stan's
office?
Was that the wrong office? I have to skip the bucket this time.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, it depends if you bring if you brought the bucket or not. That's what it means.
To get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So this time the stuff won't be in my way, and I'll be able to go further. It's actually really interesting.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He
wanted
to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
That's it.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
All good, we all make mistakes, of course.
No,
not the right, no.
Why would
it's
I
here,
have
right?
said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
Good
clearly...
question.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
you found it?
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely...
Yeah. That's what I thought. Now, I might be wrong, but I believe the red and blue door should be here somewhere.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
That is not correct.
Who am I kidding?
Did I forget where the red and blue door were?
Story completely unusable.
Did I forget?
How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart.
Did I already forgot where the red and blue door were?
Suppose we don't wander so far off track.
I thought it was down here, right?
On the top.
Is it later in the story? What happens if I bring the bucket
All
this
of his
time?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
the bucket
he'd
isn't
simply
here.
missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Nope.
Did you move the story somewhere or...
Yeah.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Adventure time.
Find the story.
That'll be fine. We're gonna find it. Wrong way. I'm positively sure the door is somewhere here. There's even light here.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Sure. I'm just trying to find the red and blue door, but I forgot where they were.
His co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to
I
the
have a
meeting.
few ideas, but
Perhaps
not
he had
too
simply
many.
missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Sure.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yeah, maybe. What else? Oh. Let's see. That seems like story over there. And over here seems like story, you know?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
Clearly.
Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind.
Nope.
Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our
Yeah,
steps.
let's do that.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
Me neither.
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
I think so.
Do you remember, Stanley?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
I
job.
worked right all the time. Man, that was
Oh,
such a hard
no,
work.
I don't feel right about this at all.
You
We
don't?
both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
But I
Some
did.
people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
But it
I'm
was
getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
situation.
I don't care what might happen this time.
No?
I have to restart.
Okay.
All right, I've got a solution.
The Stanley
This time, to
Parable
make sure
2
we don't get
Adventure
lost,
Line.
I've employed the help
Two.
of the Stanley
See?
Parable
Two.
Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
It is new.
How
It
simple
is
is
new
that?
content. It has 2 in it. Look at this way.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over
The
in
line
this
knows.
direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way...
Oh yeah,
the
music is
story
gonna
with
start
no
playing soon.
destination
Music's
still
gonna
a
play soon.
story?
Hold on.
Simply by the act
Oh,
of
no.
moving forward,
Mm.
are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being?
I think
by the
up
very
there is like the,
manifestation of the nature
process
of life
officer,
itself?
whatever.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah, music. Oh gosh. a big room full of boxes. Wait a second. Huh? I'm seeing stuff.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Maybe it's this way. Believe in the line game.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
The line kind of was a joke. Let's follow the line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh.
Now, yes, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story.
A new story.
What do you want our story to be?
I want it to be about the line. About the line.
Whatever it might be, Stanley.
About the line. I want it to be about the line. I love the line. The line was cool.
Oh,
no,
line! Again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
Line! I think I really should suggest this game to Darby, to be honest, because I know Darby loves, like, weird and confusing stuff, right? Like, things that doesn't really make sense. This is one of those games.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Hold on.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Yeah, we must squander.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think.
He needs a minute to think.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with that counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So
this game is definitely fun, though.
Let us ask, will
I highly advise it.
Door lead us to where we're going? And since
the game is amazing.
Yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I got this.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Ugh.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all...
A chance to play the story, but it's prevented, unable to go anywhere. I don't think the game restarts on its own.
Am I just supposed to forget?
Find the line again, begin following the line, find an identical replica of the office that is beginning to deteriorate. Attempt to make the story here. Narrative restarts the game.
Insulted me. Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a
say in all of this? Is that the 6th restart?
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean Did we do it?
I'm
Did we break the
confused.
cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would
How
we
many
even
restarts have
know?
we been through?
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose
think we're on the
in some way
6th.
that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
Find the
I'm
line
not quite
again.
sure if
Begin
we're in
following the
destination
line.
or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
Find the line
So
again.
I
Begin
hope
following
that's
the
where
line.
we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Let's start over again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly
Why is there a
needed
green
support
mushroom
and
here?
guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
How did we get to the
Where are
red
we going today? The bucket
plus
asked.
blue door?
Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
This way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
This time we're
Stanley
going
had
all the
felt
way.
bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind.
Yeah, the bucket was wrong. The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his
This
left
way.
to
This
go back
way.
to the meeting room.
Wait, I think I remember now.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Could the figurine be down there somewhere? I knew it. I knew it.
You're getting close.
It was worth.
Stanley.
It was
You've
worth
really
it.
got
It was
an
worth
eye
it.
with the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the
Oh.
last one, and then the first number will equal the second number,
Yes.
and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Now. What's the event? Wait, where am I? It's this considered a big room with lots of boxes? And maybe. Wait, no, I got that. What is this?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing
I need to send a
feels
message.
real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Bucket?
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No
Bucket?
matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so
The buckets.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
This is a game that
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This.
and then he made a game with the bucket, right?
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
The bucket. He was a bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a
An
committed
evil bucket.
A bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling
I
to
know
him,
the way.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was
Yeah, the
wrong.
bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
I know where the
cargo
last
lift, yes.
figurine
Good.
is.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
In a
question
bit,
why
in
or
a bit,
how this
in a
bucket
bit,
was
in a
speaking
bit.
to him.
I'm gonna first get on there, go there, red or blue door,
But Stanley
and then I
chose
can
not
go
to
there.
think about
And
this
then I can
bucket
die
instead.
after.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
Oh, I
and
almost
he
died.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In a sense, I suppose. In a sense, it is kind of psychological horror because it kind of
No,
shows
stop.
that.
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
What is the
I
bucket?
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which,
Huh?
if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game.
Aha!
Quickly and properly. So much
No
so that
physical
the story is
object.
dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't
No
a
solid
bucket.
object here.
Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay? I can't drop the bucket. I can't.
Then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Yeah, makes
Let's
sense.
begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Mm-hmm. I knew it.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No, it's not a bucket either.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
See? I know my buckets.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
It looks similar, but I feel... No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yeah. That's a bucket.
You're hallucinating. This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
That's a bucket. Truck it.
Is this a bucket?
I think so.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yeah. It is a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see.
No.
It should be around here somewhere.
It's all good. Take your time. Yeah. It's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
There is.
And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
Yeah.
Be straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes. Nothing is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. But now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
No.
Why? A bucket?
You're a
Stanley,
bucket.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear the relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Not the
I'm
bucket.
going to erase all buckets.
No.
entirely.
Not the
Okay,
bucket.
here we go.
No. No. Can you erase a bucket?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything was a
Every single thing in the
bucket.
game was a bucket.
I knew it.
My God, I had no
I
idea.
knew it.
How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets.
Yes.
Okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Yeah.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
We all know
Here we go.
it's all a bucket, okay? Everything's a bucket. Even nothing's a bucket.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? Ah, the embrace of an old friend.
Yeah.
A weathered companionship that stands the test of
You know,
time. Stanley clutched the
I
bucket
misjudged
tightly to
how
his-
much
This was
there
not
is.
the correct way to the meeting
I'm
room.
going back with the
Stanley
bucket to
had
see if
felt
there's
the
something
bucket
else that'll
calling
happen.
telling him that
Will
the
he now be like,
employee lounge
you know,
was simply
the bucket is
place to
okay.
be.
It's fine.
And here it was. Had the bucket
But
turned
the
out to be
bucket
correct,
has
so,
permission.
never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
This time.
don't go to the meeting room.
He must
Go
allow
somewhere
it this
else.
time.
The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
We'll
Stanley
go
did
up
not
there
question
later.
why or how
Because the
this
bucket
was
requires
speaking
it.
to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
This
Unless-
isn't a bucket.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Oh no.
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this
Wait, let me
point.
try answering
If
correct
that's
this
true,
point.
well,
Let me
thank
actually try to
goodness.
answer correct
I
this
think we
time.
have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
It's
So
a
much
pail,
of the
not a bucket.
impact of the story
True.
is dependent on your understanding of what
Not a
is
bucket.
and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
The first three is yes. No, the first two are no.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios.
Okay.
And you'll tell me whether or not the
This
thing
time we
I'm
try to
showing
get
you
things
is
right.
a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It
Next
a
one is
3D
yes. Next one is yes.
recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Correct. So this one is yes.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct.
Yeah.
It is a bucket.
Then it's no to this and yes to
Item
the next
4.
one.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I
Yeah.
just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both.
Dang it,
Gotcha.
it's both a bucket and not a bucket. Well, I suppose.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Okay. Nothing. It's not a bucket.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket.
Yeah.
Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No, 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 no.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort
Dang
out.
it!
I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of...
Okay. I suppose I'll just begin the game again because he's just gonna like reset everything, so... Let's this time not bring a bucket, and next time we'll bring a bucket.
And perhaps rain
right?
started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Have I never seen weather?
When
I'm sorry,
Stanley
we
came
got
to
up.
a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Dang
well.
it.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Martha Scuttle. Fair.
And
fair,
here it
fair.
was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I did not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Sorry, mate.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I think the
I'm not
figurines
sure
still are
anyone
here,
really
technically.
not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What?
Thank you.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
I am.
Well, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your... And there it is. The last
Yes.
Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted
I'm so happy now.
that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done.
We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I don't think we're done
Now listen
here.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
It really is.
I wanted to stop.
Yeah.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Yeah, what are we looking for?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I'm gonna feel happy as well, you know? Ooh. You know, I think I've had enough of this embrace. I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, it's no offense to you, but
wait, where are you going?
I'm curious of what's over here.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Ooh. If I die, the game will reset?
No, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I'm thinking. Not for enough.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. Stanley, please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Yes.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over again, is it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Oh no!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Oh no!
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
What if I go back to be nice to him and then I go back into the room again? Will he say anything? I do notice the more I jump, the slower I get.
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Sure, I want to stay alive. I want to stay alive. Oh.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Well, you're correct. It's not possible anymore. You were a big jerk when he said that, so now, no. No more. No more. You fool. It was my plan all along to jump off the top. Again. He knows it's not possible. So now, it's time. Truly is time. Let's restart. Check on the figurine collection and grab the bucket that we love. Maybe we can finally finish the bucket on what it wanted. Voila. Goodbye.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Hmm? Just quiet.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's just...
What?
It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire
Well, yeah.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
It did.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Fine. One more time. One more time. Now remember when Stanley found the collectibles. Yep. I remember that. It was great. The memory zone. Another figurine. Ooh.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
Oh yeah, I remember
we had
that.
no idea of how many of them we'd find.
Wait, there's
Sure,
another
six
one.
right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7 out of 6.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom.
Yep.
You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
I'm true, dude, don't I?
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Was it under the stairs or was it in the boss's office? I think boss's office, right? Or did I? Yeah, it was boss's office. Because I restarted earlier.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Well, I almost did,
Let's see,
so...
what came next? Oh yes, we found a figure in this pink room.
Wait,
Oh, well,
wait,
I
what?
can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in
Yeah.
the memory zone, so it must have happened.
What is this pink room?
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse.
Yeah, this
I
one was
remember it so
interesting.
clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh! Oh my god, this is like real old stuff. I remember videos looking like this in the past. With the text and such. Oh my god, this brings back nostalgia. This is like 2004 editing kind of stuff. This is like 2004. Oh no. Oh no. Best boy, the narrator, Stanley.
Doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Where now? Do we go back in here or? Oh no, he wants me to go for the gun, so. Oh boy. Oh, okay.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
It was amazing.
Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly that.
12 out of 6. That was awesome. You're in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Into the future? Wait, what?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yeah, I do. No.
Yes, I love that video.
It was an amazing video, though. It really was. Great editing. 10 out of 10. Really, truly.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley.
Yeah.
Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm
It
very
would've.
glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Mm-hmm. It really would have, though. What if we also go here? Nah, it's just black. I don't think it'll work. You know. But here we got like the boss's
This was
strap
our
on.
second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes,
Yeah.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
True.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going.
You want to
what
keep
else
going?
is there? What came before this?
There's nothing came before this except. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
It really is well done. This game is super interesting.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten
Yeah,
that?
who could have forgotten?
Classic memory, this one.
Yeah, I always went for the right. And you told me to go for the left. That was such a good.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I
No.
can remember. I can remember. I can remember.
Is there
Yes,
anything that can
I'm
refer
remembering
this?
something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me.
No.
He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be strong.
It's like the ending, huh?
I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
What?
You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, that's actually awesome.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Just like this.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Oh my god, this is actually such a good
Stanley
game.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Let's get the last ending for today.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind. The
I'll
bucket
stream
was
later
wrong.
today as well, so Mario Maker
Stanley
2 to
took the door
explain
on his
some
left
stuff.
to go back to the meeting room.
But we
No,
need to follow the
Said
bucket.
the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the
You're
lift
going
all
up
the
there.
way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question
Let's
why
go.
or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
That's such a good
unthinkingly
ending, though,
did
the
whatever
figurine
the
ending.
bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Not dark room. This room? It's not dark, it's light. Oh, that dark room.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
But I can also just take it out or plug it out, but okay. Let's do it for bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh dear. Why am I... Not a bad house though, really.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Where's the bucket? It's here, huh? The bucket. Oh.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
Oh.
That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
But the bucket. Don't listen to the loud man. Press F. Press to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
Bucket.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
The bucket.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier. More capable of transporting liquid.
Oh, such
like
a
it
good
would
bucket.
be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps.
Oh no.
Bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Here's your 14 a.m.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket,
My
Stanley.
bucket.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Oh. Bucket. Go back to work, Stanley. Okay, I will go back to work, buckets. What is going on?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like.
Okay.
I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
So I can't bring the bucket. Because this is a figurine ending, I think, so.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So it's just gonna
Yet there was not a single person
finish
here
the story.
either. Feeling a wave of
There's no
disbelief,
figurine
Stanley
thing yet.
decided to go up to
No.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I'm sorry, but
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
I
So he
wanted to
turned
go in.
around
I
and
wanted to
got
go
back on
in.
track.
Now I
Coming
have
to a
to-
staircase, Stanley walked
Let's
upstairs
just see if
to
it
his
changes
boss's
anything.
office.
Because we now got
I
the
think we all know
figurine
the
ending,
drill by
technically.
now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look,
Yeah, it's a new one.
passageway. Kill surprise.
Yeah, it's a new ending. It's the figurine ending. Oh, that's... final ending.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, but of course, Stanley
I need to
thought
go
nothing
there with
of
the
it
bucket
and
later.
realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
I need to try and
Stanley
go
thought to
take the
himself.
bucket and
Did
go
he
to
have
the
strength to find out?
place over there was like exit or escape. Because I wonder, would like the story turn into like the bucket tries to save me or
Each bore
what?
the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals.
There's still a
reduced to
few
images on a
endings I have
screen.
left, which I haven't even
Stanley,
touched
one of
upon,
them,
which is super exciting.
eternally monitored in this place.
Or rather like
Freedom meant
different
nothing.
stories.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't
Yeah.
be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
I wonder,
Was this the only
do I
reason he
play
was
out the
happy with his
story
boring
like
job? That his
he wants
emotions
them?
had been manipulated to
I'm guessing
accept
so.
blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Yeah,
His
I have to
own
assume
life
so.
In someone else's
They
control.
were gonna do yes,
Never.
just play it out
It
like
was
normal.
unthinkable, wasn't it?
As if
Was it
whatever
even
the
possible?
narrator says
Had he
is
truly spent
100%
his
true.
entire life utterly blind to the world?
still see, huh?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
Okay, so now
with
we just
emotions.
play through like
happy,
normal.
or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past
And then it's
began to
like,
sink in,
probably credits
Stanley
roll,
decided
right?
that this machinery would...
I'm gonna assume the credits will roll this time, because after figurine collection, he talked about just wanting to remember everything once more. And this was technically the
Blackness
story he told,
and a rising
so
chill
I'm
of
assuming
uncertainty.
credits will roll after this.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the
Let's see.
machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But
Oh, he
as
told the
sunlight
Lord.
streamed into the chamber,
Oof.
he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been
So this is like the
seeking,
canonical
but happiness.
story, I think.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Even though it's also
No
not.
longer would anyone tell him where to go,
Yes.
what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Let's
It
see.
was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Huh. That's not correct.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
But the phone didn't go off this time.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Let's try
Stanley
the
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
exit on
and
this
entered
time
the
then.
door on his left.
But he skipped the dialogue this time, right?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Well, he just skipped entire keypad thing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his dark, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
This time we're just gonna go to the escape with the bucket. And after that, I'm probably gonna end the stream, as we've been live for like 3 hours and 50 minutes with a bucket. It's great.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
With the bucket too.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Bucket, you trust me, correct? Let's go. Let's go, Bucket. I believe in you. Oh. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Isn't there a way there?
The mind and the soul at ease
Can't we
to
just
embrace the bucket.
get on
What
top
use is
here
a
and
sense
just
of
climb
ease
over
when you're about to be
technically?
crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye-bye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Bucket?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket.
I don't have the bucket anymore. Bucket died. The bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is
It's
far
the
more
bucket.
noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Oh my god, it's a museum of the buckets. Bucket with 2 handles, wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It was arrogant of me. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long this cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Okay. Buckets.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I'm sorry, I have the hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear or grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. I took the bucket. Yo, Epilogue.
But there is something we can do. Something
You came in
we can
time
do
before
together, you and I
end the
that will
stream.
right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
What?
We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
No.
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world.
But the
a new
bucket will
vision.
die! Oh no. Huh. I'm gonna take the bucket.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Oh my god. It... Okay, because I got like the ending of like the bucket being magnificent, like it being more worthy than basically humans, like humans aren't worthy of it. He now claims like, yeah, Stanley's got a lot of ego to even bother with it.
The door on his left.
You know, I'm gonna cut the contact from the
was
phone
not
this time.
direct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the
I'm gonna
bucket
do it.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be...
I also got the
Well,
everything is a
never
bucket
mind.
ending.
The bucket was wrong.
I have had a lot of
The door on
experience
his
with the
left
bucket so
to go
far.
back to the meeting room,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
No,
lift, yes,
actually the
go
real
there.
question is,
Good.
are you a bucket?
Now ride the lift
Or
all
are
the
you
way to
not
the
a
top.
bucket?
There's something up there I need you to do.
Maybe you are a
Stanley
bucket,
did not
and you
question
don't
why
know.
or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him,
Who
of
knows?
course, because buckets
No.
can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
And what if
He
everything is a
unthinkingly
bucket?
did whatever
Which
the
it
bucket
is.
asked.
This is a bucket. Those boxes, buckets. This floor,
In
buckets.
here.
Said the bucket.
These
Go
plank
into this dark
buckets,
room
chair
over here.
buckets, door
Stanley
buckets.
once again obeyed blindly.
It's all buckets. It's all buckets. Everything's a bucket. Everything's a bucket. And I mean everything.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Why
Oh.
did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it.
Yeah.
But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh, okay.
What is comedic timing?
Oh, no.
What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
Yeah.
And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper.
That's one.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Okay.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh.
Okay.
And then, spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
Ooh.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half. Pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny now."
I'm Dunny with the funny. See? I'm great. I'm Dunny with the funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
Yay!
Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Okay, Akko, could you fill out the survey?
No less than 10 pages long, and should include the same question reprinted several times.
It's only like 9 pages long.
The survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal,
Akko, you wanna take the survey?
Over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very
It's only 10 pages.
And to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper
game data format,
are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Let's try that. I apologize. Well, I guess we'll have to just start over.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket,
sure?
You'll say. How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
Okay,
I'll
look forward.
That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke to Stanley.
To overthink things.
Yes, but of course. Try doing one of those voices. I'm sure it'll have some comedy to it. I believe you can nail it this time. Personally. You can. I'm gonna laugh. But you gotta remember to instruct me about laughing, okay?
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah?
There's supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off.
Yeah.
The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room.
Wait, did they?
What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
I'm sorry.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Oh, am I meant to go the other way?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
It has no ending, really, Cameron. There's multiple.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
Yeah.
Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely
I'm sorry.
done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on.
I'm sorry.
All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery?
Yeah.
Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale...
I get it, but...
What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar.
Okay. No, that was a good point.
Fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
No, I've
I need more
learned.
instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
Why is this Stanley holding a bucket, though? This is not correct. This is wrong on many levels, and I have complaints. Phone?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think it's about time that I end it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Guys, I said goodbye. Okay?